All right, let's talk about something I bet every single one of you with a website has seen. It's that email, right? The one with that tempting offer, a shortcut that seems, well, just a little too good to be true. Today, we're going to dig in and find out if it is.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. It lands in your inbox from a total stranger, but the deal is super simple. Hey, I'll link to you if you link back to me. A link for a link. And I mean, on the surface, it sounds great, right? Like a super quick and easy way to climb up those Google rankings.
But here's the big question. Is it really a good deal? Or is it actually a trap? Something that could end up doing way more harm than good? This is like a fundamental question in the whole world of search engine optimization, or SEO.
And hey, if you're sitting there wondering about this, you are definitely not alone. This very same question popped up on Reddit. A blogger, probably just like you, was getting slammed with these offers and just had to ask, is this trade really as bad as people say it is? Okay, so to get the real, unfiltered answer, let's just go straight to the source. Let's go to Google. What do they actually have to say about this? Well, as it turns out, they're not ambiguous about it at all. Their verdict is crystal clear. Yeah, let's not beat around the bush here. The short answer is a big, fat yes. It is a very, very risky idea. I mean, the potential reward you might get is just tiny compared to the massive, massive downside. See, Google has an official name for this kind of thing. They call it a link scheme. And their definition is pretty simple. It's basically any method that's designed to trick or manipulate the ranking system. And believe me, they take this stuff very seriously. And we're not talking about some vague rule here. If you go look at Google's own official guidelines, they specifically call out excessive link exchanges as a big no-no. They literally use the exact phrase, link to me and I'll link to you, right there in their rulebook. You can't get much clearer than that. And that, right there, is the key difference. See, Google wants links to be earned. They want people to link to you because your stuff is genuinely awesome and valuable. A link exchange? That's not a real endorsement. It's just a trade, a transaction that's all about trying to game the system. Okay, so it's against the rules, got it. But what's the big deal? Like, what actually happens if Google catches you? What's the real risk here? Well, if Google's algorithm flags your site for being part of a link scheme, you can get hit with a penalty. And that's bad news. It could mean your site gets shoved way, way down in the search results. Imagine going from page 1 to, like, page 10 overnight. Or, and this is the worst case scenario, your website could just vanish. Completely. We're talking totally de-indexed from Google. Poof, gone. All that traffic, all the hard work you've poured into your site, it could all just disappear overnight. It's pretty much the ultimate nightmare for any website owner. And this really gets to the heart of it all. Think about it. A natural link, one that you earn, is like a real vote of confidence. It's another website saying, hey, this is good stuff. But a link swap, it's just a fake trade. There's no real endorsement there. And you better believe Google's algorithm is smart enough to spot the difference. But, you know, this is where the conversation always gets a little tricky. People start saying, okay, but what if, right? They start looking for those little loopholes, those gray areas where maybe, just maybe, a link swap is okay. So let's dive into that. And here's the argument you hear all the time. Imagine a wedding cake baker, and they link to a local flower shop. And then the flower shop links right back. I mean, they both serve the same customers. It seems genuinely helpful for someone planning a wedding. So that's got to be okay, right? Well, even in a case that seems that innocent, it's still a risk. See, the problem is that one helpful link can turn into a pattern really fast if you do it with 10 or 20 or 100 other partners. So the absolute safest bet, it's simple. Link out to other sites whenever it's genuinely helpful for your readers. But just don't ask for one back. Now, because Google got really, really good at spotting those direct one-for-one swaps, some SEO folks tried to get clever. They came up with a, let's say, smarter trick to try and hide the whole pattern. It's what's known as a three-way link exchange. So instead of a simple A links to B and B links to A, it's a triangle. Site A will link to Site B, then Site B links to a totally different Site C, and finally, Site C links back to Site A, completing the circle. The whole point was to break that obvious back-and-forth pattern. So the big question is, does this old trick still work? And the answer is, nope, not at all. This tactic is like ancient and internet years. Google's algorithms are way, way more sophisticated now. They can spot these kinds of patterns easily. Honestly, trying this today is probably just a faster way to get yourself a penalty. All right, so we've spent a lot of time talking about what not to do. So what's the alternative? What's the right way to build links? In a way that's safe, sustainable, and, actually works? One of the absolute best, most proven methods is guest posting. And the process is really straightforward. You find a relevant site in your niche, and you write an amazing, genuinely helpful article for their audience. You provide real value first. And in return, you get a link back to your site, usually in your author bio. See the difference? It's an exchange based on value, not just a sneaky trade. But that really leads us to the ultimate strategy, the purest, most powerful way to do this. I saw an expert put it perfectly once. You have to shift your whole mindset. It's about worrying less about link building and worrying a whole lot more about content building. So let's wrap this up. After going through all of this, what's the big takeaway? What are the simple, key rules you should remember to keep your website safe and actually growing for the long haul? Okay, let's just break it down into some simple rules. First off, don't even reply to those link swap emails. Just hit delete. Instead, do focus your energy on things like guest posting. And most importantly, do create content that is so amazing, so helpful, that people just want to link to it naturally. And by all means, do link out to other helpful sites, but never ever ask for one back. So at the end of the day, you really just have to ask yourself one question. Are you playing for the short-term trick, or are you playing for the long-term win? The choice is yours.